Okay, if you have not downloaded MyFitnessPal app onto your phone, go ahead and press pause, download that from either the Apple Store or Google Play, and then create your account. Once you've had that done, come on back. We are going to start by setting up your account for you. So go ahead and go down here to this little hamburger and click it. And then you're going to scroll down to settings and you're going to click that. And then we are going to go ahead and go to my goals. That was the second one down. You want to make sure that you have your current weight. We've got to have a starting point because your starting point is really important. We need to know where you're starting because what's tracked can be measured, right? So go ahead if you don't have it already and put your weight in. If it's the end of the day, maybe don't put your weight in, wait until tomorrow morning, but don't get attached to this number. Please just go ahead and put whatever your weight is. I'm going to go ahead and update this. I'm going to say 140 just for number's sake. And I'm going to be stepping on the stage and I'd like to lose, let's just say I want to lose a few more pounds and we want to be at 136. Now, what we don't want is 1 pound per week. Some of you are going to want to put this at 2 pounds per week. Do not do that. I repeat, do not do that. So instead, go ahead and click on this, and we are going to change that to 1/2 a pound per week. Okay? 1/2 a pound per week, unless you just want to maintain your current weight, which is also fine. But we do not want to put this at more than 1/2 pound a week. You guys, this is so important. Why? Because if you're already under eating, and then you continue to undereat, we are never going to, 1, be able to prepare or repair your metabolism, or 2, get you eating a normal amount of food. Okay, so just put it at lose 0.5 pounds per week. That's where we're going to start. All right. The next thing you're going to do is click on this one. Calories, carbs, proteins. This is your macro goals. You can see the carbohydrates here are set at 50%, protein at 20%, 30% fat. That is going to be changed. I'm not really sure how it got to that, but we're going to go ahead and change it to what it should be. Your carbs, we're going to put at 40%. Your protein, we're going to adjust to 30%, and you're going to leave your fats at 30%. So we want to start at 40, 30, 30. Okay? Go ahead and hit this little guy up here in the top right to save that. See, it adjusted everything and it tells me how many calories. Now we're really not counting calories, but at least they're there in case you want them. Later on down the road, we will be setting daily goals. Okay, so now that we have that, we want to make sure that we have this section set up appropriately. So if you don't, go ahead and click that so that it's on. See, it toggles on and then it turns blue. That's what we want because we want to be able to see the carbs, proteins, and fats by meals. Okay, that is really, really important. And then we also want to make sure that the exercise calories down here are turned off. Why? Because I do not want your exercise, which is variable each day, to affect your macronutrient goals. If you have this on and you say burn 300 calories on a walk or 500 calories on some crazy Orange Theory workout, if this is on, it's going to readjust your calories, your macros. I don't want your macros to ever be changed because we need to have one thing that is not changing daily. We can always change your workouts, we can change all kinds of things, but we need one thing to be constant, and we are going to use that as your macronutrients. So do not have the exercise calories turned on. Go ahead and make sure that that is turned off. So if you're using a Fitbit or a Whoop or something else that you have connected to this, either disconnect it or if you know how to keep it connected without adjusting the calories, then that's fine. Then we're going to go ahead and go back up here. So if you make your way back to the dashboard right here, then this is what you should see. Your macronutrients right here. If you scroll to the left, it will have your calories. It will also have some of your nutrients here. Low carb if you have that set up, which you will not yet. So what I really want you to pay attention to on this page is to go ahead and go, actually, just know that that's there, right? And then if you click on the diary down here, okay, going to be using the diary tab the most, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to click that diary tab, and then you're going to open it up. Now, I have this set up to where I've named each one something that means something to me, and I just like it set up that way because then it is not confusing. Otherwise, yours might say meal 1, meal 2, meal 3. You can put it as whatever you want. And actually, I need to update this. So let's go ahead and do that, actually. If we go again over to settings here, settings, diary settings, customize meal names, okay? So you have breakfast, pre-workout, intra, post-workout, brunch, lunch, or dinner. I had it set up this way because initially I was doing my workouts first thing in the morning. Now I'm not. So let's go ahead and adjust this. And you could, again, can call it whatever you want. So I'm just going to say breakfast, meal 2. This is actually going to be pre-workout. Intra means intra workout because I have an intra workout that I actually consume calories there. Then I'll have a post-workout meal. Now that we have everything set up, let's go ahead and go down to our diary and start figuring out how to actually input things. Now I have all of my meals set up already, so let's go ahead and do an input. A lot of these things are things that I use frequently, and once you start to put things into MyFitnessPal, you'll find that the history is there and it makes it so much easier to find it again. I use this search bar all the time because it makes it so simple. This barcode scanner is also amazing and my favorite 2 things to use. And then, of course, your history. So all of these things, these are items that I use all the time. So it makes it much faster for me to be able to input all of my information. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and just search food. And my first meal for breakfast is always the same because I love it. And so let's go. I'm going to look for First Form. And they have a cafe mocha protein that I love. Now, if I just click on this, it opens it up, and now I have the opportunity to change the serving size and the number of servings, okay? So let's go ahead and see what are my serving size options. When you click on serving size, and then you go ahead and then also click this little button here, that will open it up and give me all the different ways that I can choose. Now, I know that 27.5 grams is actually 1 serving because when I look at the label itself, it says 27.5 grams. I know that also is equal to 20 grams of protein, again, because that's what the nutritional label says, but I need 30 grams of protein. So when I did the math, it's easier for me to go ahead and just hit 1 gram and use 43 servings and hit save. That gives me basically the 30 grams that I need. If I didn't change that, what would happen? If I go back to the serving size and I leave the serving size at 1 and leave this at 27.5 grams and just hit save, then it's just going to have the original label facts, right? But I use a little bit more because I need 30 grams of protein. And so again, I just go ahead and change that serving to 1 gram. Oops. And then make that 43 because I know that's about right. And actually, I think it's really 42. Yeah. So if you look at it now, it's right at 30. Perfect. Okay. So there's that. And then I just go right up here and click that button and it will go on to the next one. So now I am still on breakfast. How do I know? Because it says so right here. And so because of that, I know also for breakfast, I usually have, or I always have, lately at least, oatmeal. Now, which one have I been using? Actually, none of these. And so what I'm going to do is I am going to show you how to scan. I'm going to X out of this. I'm going to hit scan barcode. I'm going to find my bag of oats and scan the bottom barcode, which is down here. It doesn't have to be perfect, as you see. And then boom, one serving, again, we're looking at the serving, one serving is 1/3 of a cup, and that will equal 6 grams of protein, 2.5 grams of fat, and 23 carbs. So that's exactly, that's really exactly what I need. So I don't need to change that serving, really. So what I can do now is, if I wanted to change it, I could, again, go here and check it. You can check 35 grams. I actually would be using 30 grams weighed, so it would be just under that, which will give me 20 instead of 23. But we'll leave this for sake of ease. Just hit save. And then again, go right up here, save it, and go on to the next thing. I don't track coffee. There's not enough calories to track coffee. You guys, do not make yourself insane with every single little nitty gritty item, all right? But the big ones are the ones that you're really gonna pay attention to. I need a fat in here also because I know that I have just forgotten to share that with you. So I'm gonna go ahead and add another food to this breakfast. And I almost always use peanut butter as my fat because I like to put it in my oats. So if I search peanut butter, then the ones that I use the most come up. And again, go ahead, if I click the add, it will add whatever I have there, which, as you can see, is 10 grams weighed. If you don't hit the little plus button, if you just click on it itself, then again, it's gonna open it back up. And as you can see, it is about 5 grams of fat, which is exactly what I'm looking for this particular meal. Now, you might be wondering, how do I know what these numbers are and how do I know what I need for it? Because I've already got that set up, but we're gonna do that in another video. So just keep that in mind, that these are just the quick, easy things that you can do to stay on track. So that's breakfast. Breakfast is done. Now I can look at this section here, and you can see the percentage of carbs, proteins, and fats. I'm gonna ask to see this one. This is the screen that I wanna see when I'm asking you to screenshot your daily macros and send them to me. For each meal, I wanna be able to see grams. I don't wanna see the percentages, I wanna see grams. So again, as you can see, I have got 31 grams of carbs, 16 grams of fat, and 40 grams of protein in this first meal. Hopefully this makes sense. If you have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the comments below. I am so excited to get you guys started on this. And MyFitnessPal, I promise, is only confusing or uncomfortable in the beginning. And keep in mind that all of this is a get to attitude. We get to track our foods because what we get to do is a gift. And being able to learn more about portion sizes and what macronutrients are in what foods are really what is going to empower you to make better choices over the long term. So I hope this is helpful, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.